two of them featured right here today on CBS Sports Network. Florida Gulf Coast, the visiting team, their starters, Dunson, Atwater, Knight, Gleasing, and Granajan will start. And on the home team side, the Coyotes, Miller, Trimboli, Stewart, Seacamp, and McLeod. 10 starters, 8 seniors. Today, you talked about it. Not only to drive the passion, but there's a lot of emotion. This is the last shot for a lot of these players. Carl Semesco, 14th season, the only head coach FGCU has ever known in their women's basketball program. He started the program, he's still there 14 seasons later. Amy Williams, 4th season as head coach for South Dakota. Both of these coaches are the current coach of the year in their respective conferences. Carl Semesco for the Atlantic Sun, Amy Williams for the Summit League.
Excellence on both sides of the bench as the game gets ready to tip. You know these seniors are feeling it. So even though Florida Gulf Coast is away, they'll bring the intensity. Championship
time in Vermilion. Tip is tapped, and the road team wearing the road blues, Florida Gulf Coast. First possession of the championship game.
Both teams coming out in man-to-man.
Ball pops loose, and the Coyotes have a takeaway on possession number 1. Inside, in tight, basket good. The career field goal percentage leader at South Dakota, Margaret McLeod, starts the scoring in the championship.
Margaret McLeod is a blue-collar player. She gets in the paint, seals big, and finishes well.
Up top, Daitisha Dunson, a fantastic point assist maker. A little frustration early. Communication going to be a battle for the Eagles in this boisterous, loud Dakota Dome. 7 seconds to go. Shot clock, bounce right block, shot too strong for FGCU from Taylor Gradajan.
And you mentioned communication. Coach Amy Williams said the key to South Dakota championship is communication. They need championship level commitment on both ends of the court.
Whistle and lane violation. We get a 3-second call.
Haven't seen many of those in the women's game lately.
I'm pretty sure I saw the 3 fingers go up. I don't think I saw a foul indicated. So we've got a camping violation. Speaking of which, there were people camping out last night here in the lots of the Dakota Dome. A great crowd. WNIT, a home host format. South Dakota earned it. Drive missed again. Florida Gulf Coast off to a cold start.
They've had 2 good looks. They can't lose their confidence.
Coyotes quickly down the floor, quickly to the basket. 2 for Jasmine Trimboli.
Jasmine Trimboli is a versatile guard. She's aggressive. So far, you've seen 2 role players come to play for the Coyotes.
Florida Gulf Coast, fantastic defensive basketball team. South Dakota, fantastic offensive basketball team. So far, it's the offense winning.
And you know what they say, defense wins championships? We'll see if that holds today.
Whitney Knight, back-to-back Atlantic Sun Player of the Year honoree, missed that shot front iron. Coldness continues for the beach dwellers. Florida Gulf Coast been a little chilly here in Vermilion the last couple of days, and chilly at the visiting team's rim to start this championship. Just a couple of minutes in now with South Dakota on top 4-0 over Florida Gulf Coast. Shot blocked, and that's what Whitney Knight will do. Rejects it.
She just uses her timing and athleticism to set the record for the Atlantic Sun in blocks.
Deep ball. No good. Try by Daitisha Dunson misses. And that's going to get out of bounds. It'll be Eagles basketball. A lot of contributors for South Dakota. They get Jasmine Trimboli to the rim.
Yeah, this junior guard is aggressive, and you have to know when she comes to play, she just sees the rim, she attacks. And inside, defense is the name of the game for Whitney Knight. She leads the Atlantic Sun in career blocks, and she shows you why.
That was the only shot miss you just saw there for South Dakota on that block. Meanwhile, FGCU 0 for 5 from the floor to start the championship. Ball tipped out of bounds. It will stay on that same side of the court with the blue uniformed Eagles.
And if you notice, the ball was tipped out of bounds. That's what they want. They want the slip screen. So that unusual cut is their bread and butter along with threes for Florida Gulf Coast.
2 turnovers so far for South Dakota. That will be a theme as well. Florida Gulf Coast turns over their opponents with great frequency. They've got a couple already taken away, and that's how they've stayed within 4-0, even though they're off to an 0-5 start. 1 for 6 now from the floor. Drive and a basket. Taylor Gradajan, a redshirt sophomore, the only non-senior starter in the lineup, gets the first bucket.
And there you see her toughness. She's had 2 career ACL tears, but you know what? That hasn't slowed her down. She attacks hard to the basket and finishes.
was Nicole Seedkamp, phenomenal player for South Dakota, two-time Summit League Player of the Year, who was probing, gave it away, dribble up top for the Coyotes is Taya Miller. Spin, shoot, and score, knocking it down. Kate Liveringhouse, a sophomore from Bellevue, Nebraska, subbed into this game, not a starter. She's quickly into the scoring column. Today, a couple more subs waiting to check into South Dakota. That's another storyline today. The deep, deep bench of the Coyotes and the relatively trim and lean bench of FGCU.
Yeah, South Dakota has 7 players that average around 7 to 16 points.
Whitney Knight, the graduate student, the redshirt senior from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Whitney Knight does a little bit of everything for this team and scores there to get the margin back within 2.
And it'll be interesting to watch to see if she stays in the paint. She's known for floating around the three-point line. But speaking of paint, we've got the guards going to work inside early as well.
Tough inside move by Kelly Stewart, another sub in for Coyotes. Scores a bucket, cut, Dunson, straight up defense by Kelly Stewart. She scored on the other end, she defends down there.
And that's been the story of the season. The Coyotes bringing their offense and defense, especially second half of the conference.
Kelly Stewart feeling it, her 3 rims out, crowd groans, Eagles down by 4.
So far, the Eagles haven't been able to execute their half-court sets. We'll see if Whitney Knight can change it.
Whitney Knight, not a lot of legs in that shot, bounced it front iron. Not a lot of legs. We're going to keep an eye on that as well. A tough turnaround from the semifinals for FGCU. That shot way off the mark, bounces around, and tie up on the floor. Down to the floor went Kate Liveringhouse for South Dakota. And for FGCU, they're scrambling to the floor as well. Down there was Taylor Gradajian. We're off to our 8-4 start. The home team, Coyotes on top of the championship.
It started with land and a grand plan to build a university, protect biodiversity, shape engineers and pioneers, explore frontiers and spark careers, and serve local regions through the work of collegians to chase dreams, cheer teams, teach, share, improve, and prepare to bring minds awake and give back more than we take. To build a school of wonders where communities connect, inspiring those who inspire others. That's the FGCU effect.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Catch up-to-the-minute press conferences from every tournament team as they experience the thrilling highs.
It was a real sense of accomplishment, and I think they really felt good about themselves, and that's the greatest thing you can experience as a coach.
A lot of people didn't even have us in the Final Four. It's been a special ride. We don't ever want it to stop.
And agonizing lows.
Hurts a lot. My season is over. We're done.
NCAA March Madness 360, presented by Buick. Tomorrow at 2:30, only on CBS Sports Network.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
4 minutes, 51 seconds left. First quarter of the WNIT championship. South Dakota 8 and FGCU 4. Tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, join us right here on CBS Sports Network. Get your Final Four fix from a female perspective. We Need to Talk is talking hoops in Houston, right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. That's tomorrow, 7 o'clock. We Need to Talk. Women's Final Four about to break loose, and before that we preview it with this WNIT Championship, South Dakota and FGCU. It's Coyotes basketball out of the timeout. Quick shot up, no good for Nicole Seekamp. A rebound there for FGCU, something they're going to need to pick up the pace on.
Absolutely. You know what they say, scoring sells tickets, defense wins games, but rebounding wins championships.
To the basket, a whistle. That was Kenesha Atwater driving, and she'll shoot free throws. First free throws of the game. The foul, J.C. Bradley, a freshman from Norfolk, Nebraska, picks up the foul.
And speaking of rebounding, so far, South Dakota has 8 rebounds, Florida Gulf Coast 2, might be 3. Coach Carl Semesco said that the #1 key to earning a championship is rebounding. So that's their weakness. It's been masked. If they can step up to the plate, that'll help them today. First
free throw good for Kenesha Atwater. Chene, in the semifinal game against Michigan, Florida Gulf Coast out-rebounded by 20 boards by the Wolverines, but they still won the basketball game.
It blew my mind, and they've been able to get away with it for so long. We'll see if they can step up their game and remain competitive.
45-25 was the rebound count in favor of Michigan, yet FGCU on their home floor, a record-setting crowd for FGCU. They sold out their building in the semifinals. Now they play in a sold-out building here in Vermillion.
But they tend to trade 2s for 3s, so when you don't rebound and you knock down 3s, sometimes it works to your benefit. That's a tough gamble, though.
Foul called against the Eagles. Left side shot, left side good. Kate Liveringhouse, she has checked in with a fury in the championship game.
And she used her offhand, her left hand to attack the basket. So far, I've been impressed by the post game for the Coyotes.
The foul moments ago was Taylor Gradojian, led to the bucket. 3-corner good. FGCU from Taylor Gradojian. Top 3-point shooter on the team, came in at 37.3% and brings it back within 1. Now a takeaway for the Eagles and a chance to take the lead for the road team.
This is how you steal the momentum and quiet the crowd.
Motion offense in motion and paying off. Bucket for Stephanie Haas. She led the team in the semifinals with 20 points against Michigan, gives them the lead over the Coyotes.
Yep, and she's playing her best basketball right now, averaging 12 points in the WNIT so far.
Kenesha Atwater, there's the Yote. Check him out. Little Coyote hanging out, the mascot. Kenesha Atwater picked up the foul, the senior. There's the coach, Carl Semesco, talking about the fact that he started this program 14 seasons ago. He has 6 consecutive Atlantic Sun Coach of the Year recognition, 6 in a row.
He started the season, his first season, with no gym, asphalt courts, and no office, and look how far he's brought them.
Fantastic work by Carl Semesco and the whole staff. That shot blocked again by Whitney Knight, taken back by the Yotes' Abigail Fogg. Jumper just above the free throw line. Good. Nicole Seekamp is a phenomenal basketball player.
She is. She has a complete game. She has 0 weaknesses. You just have to hope and pray that you can keep her in front.
Knight wants to drive. Coyotes surround the rebound. Knight tried for a second chance, but was sealed off. 3. Good. That right there is a South Dakota native from Rapid City, Caitlin Duffy.
Caitlin Duffy has made 69 threes on the season. You just have to run her off the line because she's so good behind the arc.
4-quarter basketball game. First year of that new timing system with the 4-quarter play. Tough finish. FGCU. That just left Chene Ogumake with a kind of a blank look on your face. Stephanie Haas.
Well, she's 5'8", and she uses that little flick of the wrist to get separation and finish her layups.
Pace picking up now, Chene. Who does that favor?
It favors Florida Gulf Coast. They score most of their points outside of Whitney and Kenesha off of turnovers.
Thought about a 3, gonna hold up on that. Katie Metter. Metter dribbles, goes right side, around the defense. Shot blocked from behind, out of bounds. Big swat for the junior from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Abigail Fogg gets the crowd cranking. You want to see some defense? We'll do some down here.
Oh, absolutely. Abigail Fogg, this is what posts do. They bait you to think that you have an open layup. They stay behind and use their length. Trust me, I know.
There is the head coach, Amy Williams, 4 seasons at South Dakota. Back-to-back Summit League Coach of the Year honors. 95 wins now in just 4 years at South Dakota. She's already hung up 95 W's with her staff. Traveling violation, a turnover of the basketball, and that will give it back to the home team, the Coyotes.
Jasmine Trimble did a good job of cutting off Stephanie Haas's drive. She had 2 easy layups. She put her foot on the baseline. She had nowhere to go.
First turnover of the game for FGCU. 3 turnovers by the Coyotes. Left side now, back to the basket. Kelly Stewart turns, shoots. No good, and another chance for the Eagles to draw even or jump back in the lead. Bump and offensive.
Easy offensive call. She hesitated. The defense knew she was driving. She extended her elbow. Defense put her body on the line. Hesitation, arm extended, easy charge.
Jasmine Trimble, the junior from Adelaide, Australia, takes the charge. Number 5 sliding to the lane, and the foul for Dunson is her first personal. Just checking back in was Kenesha Atwater for FGCU. Trimble looking for a cutter. Now back to Stewart. Double team in the blocks, took it away. Eagles swarmed the blocks. Run down, gonna have to pull it back out. Gradijan up top. Gave it to Haas. Haas dribbles.
Of defending Whitney Knight outside, but that frees up the lane, allowing Stephanie Haas to cut.
Haas scoring rapidly. 6 points now to lead the team for Stephanie Haas, who led them in the semifinals with those 20 against Michigan. Another couple of subs waiting to come in here for South Dakota. Coyotes handle it. Game even. We're playing for the big trophy, and the Coyotes jump back on top. Little mid-range game from Abigail Fogg.
Abby Fogg might be the biggest player on the court, but she has nice touch around the rim, and her face-up game is what you need to take away.
There's Fogg on Whitney Knight. How about the junior from Sault Ste. Marie? Trimble jump stop, lost it. Turnovers coming out of the pocket of Coyotes a little too rapidly for Coach Williams' liking. 20 seconds to go first quarter. Deep ball. Good. Knocked it down. FGCU jumps on top. Taylor Gradijan.
That's what you have to be careful in offense, in transition. Both teams are capable of hitting threes. You don't run back to the paint, you run back to the three-point line.
Game high 8 points for Gradijan. 2 seconds to shoot. Fogg in front of the buzzer. Got it. And that means at the end of the first quarter, the home team has the lead with the buzzer beater. You know, given today's matchup, we might see 4 buzzer beaters. Each quarter might end that way.
We have to thank the rule change for that. Abigail Fogg in rhythm, nothing but net.
Hello, Geico? Yeah, I was just talking about your emergency roadside service and how it's available 24/7 and then our car overheated. But what are the chances? Can you send a tow truck, please? The location? You're not going to believe this, but it's in a tree. I wish I was joking, mate, but it's literally stuck in a tree. A chainsaw? No. All we really need is a tow truck.
Day or night, Geico's emergency roadside service is there for you.
Ever since Jim signed up for Lowe's personalized lawn care plan, he's been getting step-by-step instructions based on where he lives that ensures his lawn looks amazing. Hey, Jim, you know what else would look amazing in the yard? A lady unicorn. I'm lonely, Jim.
Water has played an important role in Stella Artois' 600-year brewing heritage. That's why we've partnered with Water.org to help women who spend millions of hours just collecting it. We can help change that and play a part in transforming their lives. Each limited edition Stella Artois chalice helps provide 5 years of clean water for someone in the developing world.
Anna thinks you need a PhD to do your own taxes, so we brought in a PhD to help explain them.
You're getting this refund because your son is a qualifying dependent.
I can see that.
Good.
Good, great.
Intuit TurboTax.
The E-Class has 11 intelligent driver assist systems. It recognizes pedestrians and alerts you. Warns you about incoming cross-traffic. Cameras and radar detect dangers you don't. And it can even stop by itself. So in this crash test, one thing's missing. A crash. The 2016 E-Class. Now receive up to a $3,000 spring bonus on the E350 Sports Sedan.
Well, South Dakota softball got a win 4-0 over Western Illinois today. They're in the house. They were glad they had an early first pitch. They got that done to get to this championship game. 1 quarter in the books. South Dakota 19, FGCU 18 as we head to quarter number 2. The WNIT does a lot of travel and relies on Vista Travel for all of its airline needs. Over 40 years of experience working with collegiate teams. When you need a professional, call Vista Travel. Experience, reliability, and value make our services hard to beat. Thanks to Vista Travel. Wow. 63rd game of the 64-team bracket, a travel puzzle. Renee Carlson, Sarah Sullivan, Justine France do a great job moving people like that around the country. Coach Smesko, they won on Thursday night, an 8 p.m. Eastern time tip, and then they were out the next morning at like 4:30 a.m. out of Fort Myers, and here they are on the road, 12-0 on the road, one of just 3 undefeated teams on the road this season, along with UConn and South Carolina. To the bucket. And back to the scoreboard. Kenesha Atwater puts FGCU back on top. Are we going to go back and forth, because the scoreboard's doing that right now?
We might. South Dakota's depth, though, is one of their greatest strengths. 7 Coyotes have already scored. But now talking scoring, Kenesha Atwater takes the contact, keeps her eyes on the basket, and finishes. South Dakota's depth. 7 players have already scored. We'll see if Florida Gulf Coast, their defense can rise to the occasion, because they're the #2 defense in the land.
Decided to try the 3, did Kenesha Atwater. Missed it well short. We've seen a number of short shots from FGCU. Don't want to overplay the travel and the tiredness, but that's what you get if that's what you got.
But then this is your last game. You got to run on extra ampo fuel.
Yeah. Both teams have won 5 games in the WNIT bracket, and it's number 5. Jasmine Trimboli, she was #1 on, or she wasn't, she was in the top 10 recently on some highlight shows, and she's trying to go back to it again here.
Jasmine Trimboli, she keeps her head up, draws 2, dishes it across her body, scoop shot. In traffic, almost fouled.
They run her down the other way and draw the foul off of Trimboli. She committed the foul right there. First foul of the second quarter. Again, remember the new quarter system now. Each quarter starts back at 0. 5 team fouls is where you start shooting free throws. Drive and another bucket. Nice finish. Good touch from Stephanie Haas.
Coach Carl Smesko's offense is all about 3s and slip screens. And there you see Stephanie Haas slipping to the basket.
8 points for Haas. Out of bounds it goes. Coyotes will keep the basketball. Let's good look at Whitney Knight, Senior Class Award nominee this year, and that's not foreign territory to you. Janae Agumake, a finalist a couple of years ago.
Man, you did your homework.
That's my favorite award, honestly, in all of sports, the Senior Class Award.
It truly rewards the top student athlete, and to be nominated tells you a lot as well.
That shot is not a shot. Whistle before that went, and a foul called against the Coyotes. Crowd will disagree. Margaret McLeod is who they got on the foul. First personal, second team foul of the quarter. Bump and a shot, no good for FGCU from Jamie Gleasing. Run down for the Coyotes. Deep ball. Too strong from Nicole Seekamp.
The Eagles got lucky. You have to start guarding Nicole Seekamp once she crosses half court.
Here we go with a 3 barrage. This one's going to drop. Out of Ohio, Jamie Gleasing making her 140th appearance, 140 games played. That is an all-time record at FGCU. She just knocked down a big bucket.
She's one of those role players that every championship team needs.
Another deflection, another takeaway. FGCU getting their defense rolling, run down. Haas, no good. Atwater pulls it back off the offensive rebound. Sends it back in, gets another board, and gets fouled. Great hustle play from Kenesha Atwater.
Kenesha Atwater, what people probably can't see through their TV screens is how fast she is. She pursues the ball after her makes and misses.
Foul there is called against Margaret McLeod, her second foul. McLeod is leaving the floor with those 2 fouls. Subs again, we're going to try to update you on personnel. We've got heavy turnover on the court. Turnovers and sub-turnover with faces in and out of this championship game. You know, I love that, though. These players, especially with the deep bench of South Dakota, getting everybody a chance to experience this moment with over 7,000 of their fans on hand. Deep bench. Coyotes trying to hold off this rhythm that's being found by FGCU, and there's some South Dakota defense.
Just keeping your hands active on both ends of the court.
Too strong on the 3 try for Taya Miller. Ball comes back up top. Nicole Seacamp will reset the offense. 25 seconds and ticking on the shot clock.
These fans aren't used to seeing misses lately. Last game they went 15 for 21 from 3, so they're a little surprised.
Yeah, program record over 71% three-point shooting in their semifinal win over Oregon. Just lights out. And Coach Amy Williams said that she said to Kelly Graves, the Oregon head coach, after the game, she sort of apologized and said, I've not seen that before. That was nuts.
When this team gets hot, they are lethal.
Catch up top for J.C. Bradley. She handles it into the corner. Caitlin Duffy. Duffy dumps it in to Kate Liveringhouse. Spins, no good, and FGCU gets an important defensive rebound.
That's what they'll need to do. It can't just be Whitney Knight using her 6'3" frame, snagging the boards. Everyone needs to work together to snag those rebounds.
Dunson gives it to Stephanie Haas, who has been scoring in this championship game. Haas with a co-team high 8 points, along with Taylor Gradijan. Whistle up top before the shot try. Foul on the floor. And it's going to be called against Kate Liveringhouse. First foul for Liveringhouse. Here comes number 3 in blue. That's Katie Metter. Team high 51.1% field goal shooter this season. Whitney Knight checking out. Knight to the bench. Small lineup for FGCU. Ball on the floor, possession arrow invoked again. We've seen that a couple of times with championship level effort. A lot of epidermis deposits on the floor, getting down there.
Well, South Dakota did a good job of using the sideline as their protector. FGCU inbounded the ball close to the sideline, allowed a double team, and it's tie up.
Big smile on the face of Daitisha Dunson as she gets ready to inbound. She was laughing, I think, behind her. She was talking to somebody, might have stepped on a camera person or something, but having a good time here on the road with this big crowd against her. Shot and missed by Atwater, taken down. Pretty good strong rebound by Liveringhouse. Quick release, no good. J.C. Bradley missed it, but the rebound comes down and Caitlin Duffy resets. Tried to reverse a foul. Free throws coming up for J.C. Bradley.
J.C. Bradley was smart. Quick shots in transition mean long rebounds. If you post up and you use the rim as your protector, you will most often be rewarded either with a basket or a foul.
Foul Taylor Gradijan, second foul for Taylor. First free throw is good. Been stuck on 21 points for a little while, the Coyotes. That's an important breaker of the drought. Couple of checkouts will be Liveringhouse and Kelly Stewart. The Coyotes have Bridget Arns on the left side rebound blocks, and it was Abigail Fogg on the right side. No need to rebound that free throw make. Back within 2 points. South Dakota putting some pressure on now.
Yep, they're using the 1-2-2 press to eat some of the shot clock.
Daitisha Dunson, ace on all academic team, 0-0. She got it off to the left side to Atwater. Drives, dynamic player, tough finish. Couldn't get it down. Ball popped loose, and Katie Metter has it. Another possession for the Eagles.
An early present with Whitney Knight out. Kanisha Atwater will rise to the occasion. She's going to look to be aggressive on offense.
Yeah, Whitney Knight missed the team's first 8 games this season, recovering from injury, and it was Kanisha Atwater who did a bulk of the scoring in that time frame. 10 seconds to shoot. Flat-footed shot, a set shot from Haas, and FGCU going to get a third go at it on this trip down the floor.
Coach Carl Smesco has to be proud of his team's efforts on both ends rebounding the ball. He said that's their weakness, and if they can make that their strength, they'll be closer to a championship. Drive baseline, 2 defenders are there. They play textbook defense and swat the shot.
Abigail Fogg tied a career high against Oregon in the semifinals with 14 points. She got that block there that was not only a block but a statement. She's played well in the early going of the championship. Rebounding count now 18-13. South Dakota has a +5 in rebounding, but like you talked about, Sinead, FGCU establishing now some presence on the board. Shot and missed. This one's going to get down to the Oaks.
Pressure defense by the Eagles.
And there's another tie-up. Third time we've gone to the arrow. This will go to South Dakota. Tie-up, 19 seconds on the shot clock, and a timeout on the floor. Possession arrow favors the home team. South Dakota will have the basketball after a stop in play. FGCU 12-0 on the road. Hostile environment, over 7,000 folks. Their team down by 2.
Your game. Your memories. Your choice. Get in the game at TripleCrownSports.com.
Second quarter, that trophy waiting to go home with one of these teams, either traveling back to Florida or staying in South Dakota. 2-point lead for the Eagles in the WNIT Championship on CBS Sports Network. MSNM presents college exposure tournaments for girls who want to play basketball at the next level. Hundreds of teams, hundreds of college recruiters ranging from major D1 programs to NCAA Division III. Great competition. Be seen, get recruited. It's MSNM, and that's Chene Agumake. Thad Anderson here from Vermillion, South Dakota. Chene, while we had a second here in this timeout, I want to talk to you a little bit about, interesting 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon is a game, right?
Yeah.
We've got 6 degrees of Chene Agumake.
Okay.
You played both of these teams just a couple of years ago.
I did.
In fact, South Dakota, when they made their only NCAA tournament appearance, you were on what was the wrong end for them. You also saw Florida Gulf Coast down in Mexico. You've seen both these teams. You've been in the postseason.
Yes.
What's your feeling today?
Well, first of all, I think there's no such thing really as a mid-major in women's basketball because these two programs have cultures of excellence. Everyone plays tough schedules, whether you're a Power 5 conference or not. So to be able to have the experience to come and see these two teams, I've realized that they've come to play and they are rightfully deserving of a championship.
These players, a lot of them capping off careers today, a lot of seniors on the floor. Chene Agumake, the WNBA Rookie of the Year in 2014.
No longer a rookie.
After being the number 1 draft pick that same season. There's just a little snapshot of things you've done. The Pac-12 All-Century team and 3 Final Fours with Stanford. You know, if anybody who stumbles around social media at all is very updated on your life because you're pretty active out there.
I'm an open book.
But for those who haven't been there, tell us where things are at for you right now. I know the USA national team, you were part of that again, but due to your process, you're not going to be there. But you got maybe a family member who's considering that.
Yes. So I'm so blessed and lucky to be a finalist for the USA national team. But I really think the chance lies with my big sis. So my fingers are crossed that she makes the team. Maybe Tokyo 2020 for me, but we've been blessed and fortunate where basketball's taken us.
And now you're getting ready for, I think it's May 14th. Chicago Sky is when you'll open up with the Connecticut Sun.
Look at you doing your homework.
How about your new head coach, Kurt Miller? He did the last couple of WNITs with me. He was in your chair.
Pretty cool guy.
And now he's assistant coach for your sister with the Sparks last year.
I know, right?
We've got 6 degrees of Kurt Miller going on as well.
From one Agumake to another.
Well, good luck with your next steps, and we appreciate you being here.
Well, thanks. Your pleasure, Thad.
Chene Agumake is along for this WNIT experience, and I'm going to go ahead and reveal something about Chene's early observation. Stephanie Haas, wow, number 12 for FGCU, scoring again. It's that move that you love.
It is the scoop, stop, flick of the wrist. That's unguardable.
Seacamp can't answer, bounces out. Her shot pretty good, just hasn't gotten things to go down, and now FGCU thought about running, they'll pull it back. Haas won't. Tries that shot again, this time better defended by Fogg.
Hey, I would keep taking to the basket. It's been working so well for her.
There's a knockdown, and that's going to be an offensive foul collision coming down to set up, and it was Bridget Arns. Arns is called for the foul. Here's Haas finishing.
Now that flick of the wrist, that is something I can't even do. She gets her right arm on the right side of the basket, and she extends it so that no one can block it. Number
12 right there was awarded a WBCA, that's the Women's Basketball Coaches Association, Law Scholarship. She is a senior from Avon Lake, Ohio, the Atlantic Sun Scholar Athlete of the Year, back-to-back awards, 2-timer on the Conference Scholar Athlete of the Year, and picked up that law scholarship from the National Coaches Association. That's an impressive kid.
Oh, yeah, and she has a 3.94 GPA. That's a true student athlete.
What happened to the other .06?
Well, you know what?
playing some hoops, too.
She's just letting it go. She's too good for it. Too good for it.
That's an amazing slate of accomplishments, and so many of these players on both these teams have really done it right in the classroom and on the court. Coyotes do it right on defense with a takeaway.
Jasmine Trimboli has been making her money on the defensive end, even though she's been so aggressive on offense as well.
Long look, and that's good. Kelly Stewart from deep.
Kelly Stewart is a transitioning forward, but she loves staying behind the arc. Coach Amy Williams talked about how her depth has been added by using Stewart as a post. But it's hard to guard posts outside of the three-point line.
After shooting 71% on threes in the semifinals, South Dakota was just 1 of 5 from 3 before that shot. Now 2 of 6. Stewart, the recipient of a deflection. Stewart dribbles, tripped up, and the whistle will go against FGCU. Eagles foul, tripping foul. That's Katie Metter for Katie, her first foul.
All right, you got to guard posts and guards from 3. Credit Taya Miller for drawing 4-5 defenders and dishing it to Kelly Stewart. Like I said, Coach Amy Williams moved her to the post to acquire some depth. But hey, as a post, you have to guard her from behind the arc.
Shot fake, flyby, and the finish. Taya Miller from Watertown, South Dakota. Nice move to create some space in the bucket and the lead for South Dakota. Crowd back to their feet now with their team back up by 1. Coach Smesko asking for a timeout, not getting anybody's attention. He's on the far end of the court. He's making the T sign. I presume that was not an offensive call. That was looking to stop it. 2 seconds to shoot. Knight has to fling it. No good as the shot clock expired.
The only way you'll know the shot clock is going to expire if you're the Eagles is if you look up. It's so loud you can't hear a count.
That was the first time that the shot clock operator was even relevant today. That could have been a budget cut if you're looking to save a little money. Didn't need the shot clock today, but there finally one drains out. Here's a foul, and the crowd not going to like that. It's Abby Fogg, Abigail's first foul. So 5 team fouls committed by South Dakota. It's an offensive foul, so you don't shoot free throws on that, but it'll be bonus time the rest of the way for the Eagles here in the second quarter. Just 2 fouls committed by FGCU.
We have plenty of time, and if I were them, I would attack the basket, draw contact, get easy baskets.
Crowd back to full throat, trying to help their team protect a 1-point lead with under 2 minutes to go, second quarter. Tisha Dunson was stuck with the basketball up top. Stephanie Haas on the WNIT logo. 9 seconds to shoot, having trouble with the basketball. Flings it up, no good. Tough defense by Jasmine Trimboli.
Back-to-back tough defensive possessions by South Dakota. Defense wins championships.
2 points in this game for the team's leading scorer, Nicole Seekamp, yet her team leads and won't extend on the try by Miller.
Gulf Coast needs to find an offensive rhythm. Again, 2 stops, and Coach Carl Comesco is waiting for a timeout.
Crowd so loud that they can't get it. He had one of his players, Taylor Gradijan, about 5 feet from an official saying timeout, but she was watching the play and she can't hear from 5 feet away here in the Dakota Dome. Now a whistle and a foul. That will be the Eagles' Whitney Knight, and just Knight's first foul.
Kelly Stewart again, that's the post. You match up, you guard the post as she's coming down the court, but she reads the secondary defense, attacks Whitney Knight. Too much contact, bringing her hands down.
Kelly Stewart, too strong on the first free throw. Sub coming in for South Dakota is Caitlin Duffy. Duffy replaces Taya Miller. Caitlin Duffy wearing the 33. You can see her on the right side rebounding blocks in this free throw. Her younger sister, Kira, will be a freshman at South Dakota next year, coming to join her sister. So they'll have 2 sets of sisters. The Arns sisters already here, and then you'll have the Duffy sisters also on Amy Williams' roster.
And when you're a good team, basketball is a sisterhood.
Got the second, made it a 2-point game, did Kelly Stewart. Shoots just under 80% from the line, got 1 of 2 on that trip.
And what South Dakota was able to do right there was going from a full zone press back to man. Difficult to do.
Step back 3 for Taylor Gradijan, no good. You got that use it or lose it timeout, so right here, South Dakota coach Amy Williams is going to use hers, and we saw Carl Semesco trying to use his a moment ago. That was a very telling moment. He had a player, like I said, about 5 feet from an official, screaming, wanting the timeout. The official doing their job, though, watching the play, couldn't hear from 5 feet away.
That should tell you a lot about the power of the fans here in the Dakota Dome.
Well, the 3-ball in the semifinals was the big story. Really, both these teams, the 3 is a big part of their arsenal. And in the semifinals against Oregon, Sinead, tell us about this situation.
Taya He-Miller, she made Sports Center with this, I don't even want to call it a hook.
It's a Hail Mary.
Yeah,
it's a Hail Mary hook touchdown pass. 40 feet, roughly, maybe 42 feet from the bucket. It was a shot clock buzzer beater. It wasn't a quarter ender, but their shot clock running down. You saw the ball got tipped away. She's making a scramble recovery play, and that was indicative of what happened in the semifinals. They couldn't miss.
In that third quarter, they scored 29 points to Oregon 7, and everything was going down for the Coyotes.
The reactions after that shot were great, too. He-Miller laughing, Coach Williams just beside herself, stunned by the make. We're ticking down to 20 seconds to go in the first half. South Dakota has the basketball, has the lead. A little more game clock than shot clock, so they'll have to shoot before the quarter ends. Cut to the basket, He-Miller, pump fake, Knight swats it, and out it went. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Looks like it's out of bounds to South Dakota. Of course, no shot clock reset. Never got close to the rim on the giant swat by number 14, Knight.
Nice cut back door, but when you have Whitney Knight patrolling the paint, no shot is safe.
2 seconds to shoot. Knight had to hold off, and that shot will drop. Tough finish from He-Miller. FGCU looking for a shot before the half. It's not going to get close off the top of the backboard. That last bucket by Taya He-Miller, one of a bunch of seniors playing their last game today. It's a championship, and South Dakota up by 4.
Oh, these sneaky inbounds plays. You cut to the basket, you bring your post out. Taya He-Miller was able to convert.
He-Miller went over the 1,000-point mark against Western Kentucky during this WNIT. For her career, she passed the 1K points, and there she gives her team their 30 and 31st points of the first half. We've played 20 minutes of this WNIT championship, and we've got 20 more that will be fantastic. Coyotes 31, Eagles 27 at the break on CBS Sports Network.
For listening to your gut and not what the weatherman says. For those that understand an SUV's size can be measured, but not its heart. And for believing every room should have a view. Jeep Renegade. It's how we live 4x forever. Get 0% APR for 60 months or $1,500 total cash allowance on 2016 Jeep Renegade models.
Go paperless, don't stress, girl. I got the discounts that you need. Safe driver, accident-free. Everybody put your flaps in the air for me. Go paperless, don't stress, girl. I got the discounts that you need. Safe driver, accident-free. Everybody put your flaps in the air for me.
I can't lip sync in these conditions.
Oh, yeah.
So, tell me, young man, do you remember what your dad and I taught you about hands-only CPR?
Yes. Kind of.
If you see a teen or adult suddenly collapse, the first thing you do is...
Call 911.
And the second thing you do is...
Push hard and fast in the center of the chest at a rate of at least 100 beats per minute.
Who even knows what 100 beats per minute sounds like?
When you get down by the way I use my vocal performance, no time to talk. Music's not when they're moving, kick rounds inside the phone. It's alright, it's okay. You may not think other way. We can try, understand. Know your style's a fake man. Stay alive.
Super Bowl 50 on CBS.
This is where new heights are reached.
51 touchdowns.
Records set.
Yes,
Memories recorded.
One of the epic performances.
In the not-so-distant future, someone will ask, where were you when? You were with us. CBS Sports. Then, now, and always.
Halftime of the WNIT championship game. The Mount Rushmore President Heads shootout going on, and their home team, South Dakota Coyotes, up by 4 on the Eagles of Florida Gulf Coast. Join us right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Tomorrow afternoon, we bring you more Women's Hoops Championship action, the D2 Championship game, 3 Eastern from Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Every year, a fantastic experience at the Women's NIT Championship, and we flash back 1 year ago, 2 teams that this year ended up in the NCAA tournament using the WNIT as a springboard. Let's look back at UCLA and West Virginia.
West Virginia and UCLA navigated a 64-team bracket and earned the right to play for a title.
Mike Carey said that he is going to absolutely have to stop Jordan Kennedy. She's going to be a phenomenal guard on the West Coast.
For 2 seconds to shoot, Muldrow. Jordan continues to score 23 points for the freshman.
But I tell you what, the UCLA Bruins continue to do a job on the defensive boards. Here are 2 players to stop Canada. They stopped her. She finds the open player.
Down comes Jordan Canada, pushing the basketball through traffic and finishing. Jordan Canada, 27 points. Jordan Canada has a seam, dribbles, reverses, and scores. Up by 3, the Bruins. Run out here by Stephanie, but Jordan Canada, player of the day. Clock's going to run out on West Virginia as UCLA, propelled all day long by Jordan Canada, champions of the Women's NIT with a 62-60 victory on the road.
Well, that was last year. Both of those teams took the springboard into the NCAA tournament this year and made some noise. The road team won last year 7 times in 18 games. It's been the road team who's won this WNIT championship. Florida Gulf Coast trying to do that today. Thad Anderson with my annual conversation with Renee Carlson. We talk like once a year, and it's always here at halftime of the Women's NIT. And after last year at West Virginia, this year, I believe the folks of South Dakota responded to this opportunity today.
They sure have. They have done exactly what they needed to do. Both the team, the athletic department, the community, the fans, they have gotten on board. Every single game we've seen them just go from one step to the next step and doubling their attendance, selling out, and just the atmosphere here is just electric.
Renee Carlson directs the Women's NIT, and with that towel I was showing, some intern, some undergrad, put out 7,000 plus of these things on the seats today.
That wasn't you putting them on the seats this morning?
No, I slept in. I apologize. The Women's NIT this season, every year is marked by something a little different, something a little new maybe. What are your takeaways as the director of the tournament? I know you have a great staff who supports this, but what is your staff? What have you really enjoyed about this year's experience?
It's been a really interesting tournament. We've had a lot of ups and downs by the teams as far as host teams, visiting teams winning. We've seen some great crowds, and we've seen some schools take really good advantage of this tournament again, both for, it gives them extra practices, it gets them ready for the off-season. They get to go into the off-season with a good taste as opposed to maybe if they didn't do so well in their conference tournament. So they've used that. We've also seen some great crowds again. Both here, Gulf Coast obviously had a tremendous school record crowd the other night, and they've really built it up throughout the tournament as well. UTEP showed that, 2 years ago was not an anomaly there. They just get on board and support their community and their team as well. And then we've seen even teams like, Minnesota, St. Louis, on down the line, that the fans really want to come and support their women's basketball programs.
You mentioned Minnesota. We've seen some great individual performances in this tournament. You have an AP first-team All-American who played in your tournament this year, Rachel Banham. She went off for 48 points in round 1 against Milwaukee. Here's a look at a little bit of the work by Rachel Banham. 48 points was a new WNIT record. Just a fantastic offensive night for Rachel Banham. She is the Player of the Year in the Big Ten. You get a lot of these players in your tournament who the opportunity to play postseason, if it didn't happen in the NCAA tournament, it's a great chance to extend some great careers. And there you see a couple of the headlines, along with Banham's big 48-point night. Charnay Lamar, 15 assists. That was a new WNIT record. There were 6 players who had 13 in a game before, so it broke that 6-way tie, put her on top. South Dakota, we talked about that in the first half. They shot 15 of 21 on threes against Oregon, outscored them 29-7 in the third quarter. the semifinal games, the one was a wipeout. South Dakota just took it to Oregon, but it was a compelling game in the sense of complete locked-in domination. On the flip side, FGCU and Michigan down to the wire. Two great games to lead us to here.
Definitely, and I think what we're seeing today is a culmination of, we saw some great teams make it round by round into the tournament, and then today, these teams today are playing great level of basketball. And you're right, throughout the tournament, we have seen some really fantastic individual performances. You know, assists. Bantam is smooth. I've seen her play several times in person this year, and she, you know, while everybody said, oh, she deserves to be in the NCAA tournament, it obviously didn't work out for the team, but she got to play a couple more games at home. The community wrapped their arms around her, and we've seen that performance several times now individually throughout the tournament.
I know you're off to the Final Four next when you leave here from your championship game. You've got a great partnership with all the folks at the NCAA and the teams across the women's basketball landscape. Congratulations on another great year. I know Sarah Sullivan and Justine France need to be mentioned among others, but Renee Carlson, another great job this year, and thank you for letting us be here.
It's always a pleasure. Great game.
That's Renee Carlson. She's going to find out who she's giving the trophy to in 20 minutes. Right now, the home team, South Dakota, up by 4.
Top teams, big crowds. All 31 conferences take their shot at the title. The Women's National Invitation Tournament, where teams finish strong and create the buzz for the next season. The WNIT, players you should see, programs on the rise. Find out who's next at womensnit.com.
Since the beginning, your delegates and regulars have never gotten along. But now, with the new LG Twin Wash, they can live peacefully separate, but washed at the same time.
Save up to $250 on an LG Twin Wash bundle.
Lowe's one-year guarantee on plants means anyone can have a beautiful garden. Finally, something in this yard as beautiful as me. Enjoy.
Now get mulch and soil 5 for $10 at Lowe's.
Anna thinks you need a PhD to do your own taxes, so we brought in a PhD to help explain them.
You're getting this refund because your son is a qualifying dependent.
I can see that.
Good, good, good.
Good, great.
Intuit TurboTax.
Time to gear up for second half action from Dakota Dome in Vermillion, South Dakota, and FGCU in a tight one at the break of the WNIT championship game. Janae's back, and well, I don't even know where you want to start in this one, but the tempo is fantastic. The energy is great. We talked about all the seniors who are in this game, and you can see the heart that's out there on the floor.
Well, so far in these tournaments, you know, this is the 6th game in the WNIT, and defense is focused on taking away superstars, so role players step up. And for Florida Gulf Coast, Stephanie has been amazing, and it's not been the raining threes that's traditionally known for the Eagles. It's been her scoop layup. She moves without the basketball. She keeps her eyes on the rim, and then she, like I said earlier, she uses that scoop shot. But now for South Dakota, Kelly Stewart has come to play. She's a versatile forward. Like I said earlier, she started off at the guard position in her career. They moved her to the forward for depth, and she's been effective both inside and out for the Coyotes.
Haas, a team-high 10 points for FGCU. Stewart, a team-high 6 points for South Dakota. And there are the statistical breakdowns. The shooting numbers, 14-point advantage, 14 percentage points better for South Dakota, and they lead by 4.
Yep, and like we said, the rebounding wins championships. South Dakota has a big rebounding edge. We'll see if Florida Gulf Coast can break into that mark.
Well, they're 20 minutes done mathematically, and 20 minutes more are going to decide if the hardware stays right here or heads to Fort Myers, Florida.
Ever since Jim signed up for Lowe's personalized lawn care plan, I've been up on my hind legs trying to get a better view of his grass. It's so beautiful. Oh, cramp, cramp. My tiny unicorn legs can't take it.
Now get a $10 gift card when you spend $50 on select Scott's products.
Working on my feet all day gave me pain here.
In my knees.
But now I step on this machine and get my number, which matches my Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. Now I get immediate relief from my foot pain.
My knee pain.
Find a machine at drscholls.com.
Water has played an important role in Stella Artois' 600-year brewing heritage. That's why we've partnered with Water.org to help women who spend millions of hours just collecting it. We can help change that and play a part in transforming their lives. Each limited edition Stella Artois chalice helps provide 5 years of clean water for someone in the developing world.
Masters Week gets underway from Augusta on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. An inside look at the top golfers making their final tune-ups for the sport's biggest tournament. Masters on the Range starts Monday, noon Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network. We have solved the age-old question, where's Waldo?
He's here, y'all.
We found Waldo. He's in the Dakota Dome. And Waldo, who knew all these years, he's a Coyote fan. He's worn that red and white forever, and the red and white hosting this championship game of the WNIT, leading by 4 as we start the second half. FGCU has the basketball to bring us down the second half of this championship deciding game. Seven seconds on the shot clock. No good short. Ball bouncing toward us. It's going to be poked around and taken away. South Dakota has it in the hands of Taya Miller after the shot miss from Kanisha Atwater.
That first possession tells you about Florida Gulf Coast half-court offense in the first half. They weren't able to convert. Maybe they will find a way to adjust.
Tie up, another possession arrow invoked as Whitney Knight just played my basketball. I'm bigger than you, and I'm going to have it.
Well, she's smart. She could have gone out of her stance, jumped, and tried to go for the block, but instead she stays down, keeps her hands active, just rips it.
Kelly Stewart defended by Whitney Knight. Spin and no good, and Knight is there for a big leap rebound. Good start for Whitney Knight in the second half. With the energy and the impact. That ball into the What are those, the Jack Nicholson seats or the Rushmore seats here, the VIPs on court side?
Oh, I like what you did there, the Rushmore seats.
Did you see the president heads out there playing the contest at halftime?
So entertaining.
It's great stuff. We had Teddy, Thomas, George, and Abe, former U.S. presidents, all featured here on the floor in South Dakota. Deep ball. Too strong. Overshot it. That was Jamie policing.
That was a tough shot, but it was good offense. Drew 2, flare screen, open look from 3.
FGCU 3 of 10 from long range now. 3 for 10 on three-point tries. Nobody's scored yet in the second half. We're a little over a minute and a half into the third quarter. Nothing through a basket on either end. Shot clock winding down. Offensive foul is called. And that will go against Margaret McLeod. For Margaret McLeod, that is 3 personal fouls.
Margaret McLeod, she's a blue-collar player. She sets plenty of screens, but this time she clips off the defense.
Now McLeod checks out with her 3 fouls. She leaves the floor. Back in is Kate Liveringhouse, who had a nice first half. Liveringhouse, like so much of this Coyotes roster, you really don't take a downgrade when you substitute.
You don't. Everyone on this team can shoot the 3. Everyone is versatile enough to get to the basket. Tough to guard.
Kanisha Atwater, dangerous scorer. And a traveling call. The defense there. Liveringhouse on the backside. Shuffle of the feet.
And you have to credit the Coyote defense. They played in help when the drive was made. You fake if you're going to get help defense or go for the steal, and instead you force a closeout and a turnover.
FGCU they're thinking about checking in Stephanie Haas. Yep, they'll be sending her to the scorer's table. Led the team in scoring in the first half, waiting to check in now. Wide open, long ball, no good. Tough shooting day so far for the Summit League Player of the Year, C-Cam.
And if you're going to win a championship, those are the hustle balls you need to win.
Mid-range, too strong. Miller got it. Tough board and a putback. Second chance points, Taya Miller.
Taya Miller is what I like to say, the Robin to Nicole Seecamp's Batman. She also keeps the offense for the Coyotes going, and she's just tough no matter where she is on the court.
Playing in her 135th game for the Coyotes today, Taya Miller. That is a program record along with Margaret McLeod. Timeout taken by FGCU. 7 minutes, 2 seconds to go in the third quarter. 11 seconds on the shot clock. And Coach Carl Smesko saw something he didn't like as his team is dropped behind by 6. They have possession with a short shot clock next.
Geico Motorcycle. Great rates for great rides.
Lowe's 1-year guarantee on plants means anyone can have a beautiful garden. Finally, something in this yard as beautiful as me. Enjoy.
Now get mulch and soil 5 for $10 at Lowe's.
Marvin thinks you have to be a brainiac to do your own taxes, so we brought in a world-renowned brainiac to help him.
Take your finger and press it right here. Yay, you got it.
Intuit TurboTax.
Did you know criminals use scanners like this to steal credit card information right out of thin air? But now these wireless pickpockets can be stopped with CardLock. Simply slide your credit or debit card into CardLock. Now it's virtually impossible for anyone to steal your information. Look, thieves can scan your bank information from your purse or pocket when you walk by. Then they can steal your identity, but slip your credit cards into CardLock, and it protects you from credit card fraud and identity theft. Frequency blocking polymers are woven right into the threads of the CardLock. Don't be a willing victim when it's so easy to stop with CardLock.
Call and get 2 card locks for just $10. But wait, order now and we'll send you 2 more absolutely free. And there's more. All of today's orders get shipped to you for free. Get Card Lock for just $10. Call now.
Call 1-800-640-9760 to get your Card Lock security sleeves or go to getcardlock.com. Call now.
The E-Class has 11 intelligent driver assist systems. It recognizes pedestrians and alerts you. Warns you about incoming cross-traffic. Cameras and radar detect dangers you don't. And it can even stop by itself. So in this crash test, one thing's missing. A crash. The 2016 E-Class. Now receive up to a $3,000 spring bonus on the E350 Sports Sedan.
33-27 inside that building, which is filled with 7,415 fans, a complete sellout of the Dakota Dome. There they are, getting loud with their team, fighting for a championship. Triple Crown Sports proud to produce the Women's NIT. Whatever your game, basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, treat your team right with destination locations, signature memories, professional staff. Get in the game at triplecrownsports.com. The hospitality here at the Dakota Dome is phenomenal. During that timeout, they actually announced our names. They said, we welcome the broadcast team, and they mainly wanted to say your name.
Nah, they like you.
Shanae Agumake, Thad Anderson is who I am. And Shanae, it's great to have you with us. We appreciate your time and your energy toward the Women's NIT Championship.
Oh, it's been an amazing game. I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Taya He-Miller.
White noise. She is a fiery competitor. She looks to others first, but that time she dialed it in from deep.
36-27 now the score.
And if you're Florida Gulf Coast, that's where you want to go. You want to go to Whitney Knight. She has a size advantage in the paint.
Largest lead of the game for the home team. A foul grouping around the backside of Abigail Fogg. Whitney Knight, second foul for Whitney Knight.
From three, deep. It's not her first look, but guess what? She'll hit it and she'll get fired up.
Coach Amy Williams, this is the first time a Summit League basketball program has played for a championship in D1. And her team has that +9 on the scoreboard. The whistle goes against Ditisha Dunson. Dunson's second foul. Second foul of the quarter for FGCU. It was 31-27 at halftime. It's 5-0 here in the third quarter. Just about 4 minutes in. Nothing yet for the Eagles. Fogg pushed against Knight. Couldn't score. Haas up the court to Atwater.
This is the best look you'll get. Defense is not set in transition, and Kanisha Atwater makes them pay using her left hand across the paint.
Kanisha Atwater scored 18 points, had 7 boards in the semifinal against Michigan. Atwater now with 6 points in the championship. He-Miller, fade away, falling back, missed it short, whistle, and a foul on the boards. That's going to be following her own shot. Taya He-Miller foul.
Atwater using her offhand, she takes the contact. The best thing that she did was attack when the defense was not set. So far, Florida Gulf Coast, the Eagles have not been able to score in their half-court sets. So you know what you have to do? You have to score in transition. She did a good job of reading the defense.
The Eagles going to lock it up now. 36-29. Trailing by 7. Danger zone for FGCU. Knight goes deep. Abigail Fogg boxes out, kept Radishin behind her and grabbed the rebound.
Good offense, but you mentioned it at the tip of the game. Will legs be a factor? She didn't have enough jump on that shot.
Abigail Fogg, the junior, fearless inside.
She is taking the matchup with Whitney Knight personal. She's going hard offensively. She's taking her matchup on defense defensively. She's playing both ends of the floor, scoring and blocking.
There's a bump and a block on defense. That will be Nicole Seekamp. First foul for Nicole Seekamp. And that'll take us to a stop on the floor. A timeout on the foul call against South Dakota. The Coyotes get it into the hands of Fogg. Getting the lead up to 9.
4 by for listening to your gut and not what the weatherman says. For those that understand an SUV's size can be measured, but not its heart. And for believing every room should have a view. Jeep Renegade. It's how we live 4x forever. Get 0% APR for 60 months or $1,500 total cash allowance on 2016 Jeep Renegade models.
Life as a spokes box is great. People love me for saving them over $500,000 when they switched to Progressive. So I'm dabbling in new ventures. It was board game night with the Dalai Lama. Great guy, terrible player. Go paperless, don't stress, girl. I got the discounts that you need. Safe drive. It's a balancing act, but I gotta give the people what they want. More bucks.
Any words for the critics?
What can I say? Critty's gonna neg.
What?
Ever since Jim signed up for Lowe's personalized lawn care plan, he's been getting step-by-step instructions based on where he lives that ensures his lawn looks amazing. Hey, Jim, you know what else would look amazing in the yard? A lady unicorn. I'm lonely, Jim.
What are you doing in there?
Looking at these lame credit card offers. Plus, my buddy Doug bet me $10 I couldn't fit in a mailbox.
What's wrong with these offers?
Wake up and smell the future, man. Don't settle. Go to LendingTree.com and shop for the credit card that you want, like reward cards or 0% interest for 18 months.
At LendingTree, shop and compare credit cards and choose the one that's right for you. LendingTree. When banks compete, you win.
Ho! Ho! Ho!
Oh, babe, you need razors?
Oh, I could still use my old blade.
Who?
Don't labor with an old razor because new ones are so expensive. Shave with a fresh blade, anytime. Try DollarShaveClub.com.
Amy thinks you have to be super smart to not mess up your tax refund. So we flew in super smart mathematician Maria Chudnovsky to help her.
I have a lot of student loan debt. Can I deduct my interest?
Can Amy deduct her student loan interest?
In her case, yes. The amount goes right here.
In your case, yes. The amount goes right here.
Intuit TurboTax. Taxes done smarter.
38-29, South Dakota, FGCU. It's the Coyotes up by 9. Hard Rock Hotel Riviera Maya, the all-inclusive host of the Women's and Men's Cancun Challenge. Enjoy a rockstar getaway, lavish rooms, world-class dining, stunning tropical views. Start your all-inclusive experience at hrhrivieramaya.com. Hard Rock Hotel Riviera Maya, the home of the Men's and Women's Cancun Challenge. We'll be there in November, Thanksgiving week, for those events. After Triple Crown produces this Women's NIT Championship game, Triple Crown Sports proud to present this matchup in Vermillion on CBS Sports Network. Ball tipped around, knocked out of bounds, 18 seconds on the shot clock. Chene, looking at some numbers coming out of that timeout. Amazing that the leading point producers on each side, Whitney Knight just 2 points and Nicole Seekamp just 2 points. They came into the game as kind of the offensive spearheads, not a lot happening.
Yeah, defenses circle around the superstars on the roster, and so far role players have stepped up. Steph Haas for the Eagles and for the Coyotes. Everyone, it's been a team effort.
Whitney Knight, 6 blocks in this game. Haas just missed the shot. Rebound came down, and then a finger to the eye of Taylor Gradishin. Taylor's hurt, and no whistles. And a 3, that's a dagger. Tough sequence for FGCU. The 3-ball good for Caitlin Duffy. Some concern for Taylor Gradishin. Now they're going to stop and check it out. That was, we've got an official's timeout for blood over on the South Dakota side. Abigail Fogg getting her nose checked, but it was Taylor Gradishin who had that rebound. Here's a look at it. Got a hand to the face. No whistle. Looked like she walked. That would have been a help to FGCU if they would have gotten the walk calls to stop it.
Exactly. If they stopped the play, that wouldn't have been an easy look, a 4-on-5. And you know when you have 4-on-5, that's 3-point shooter left open.
Taylor Gradishin in pain on the bench. 8 points in the game is the second highest mark on the team by Gradishin, and she is trying to shake that off. Long ball, good. How about that? Talking about Whitney Knight having 2 points, she just got 3 more.
The last possession was wide open. Her teammates missed her. And you know what? When you're a great player, you take that personal. No one was going to stop her from making that shot.
Daitisha Dunson foul. 3rd personal for Daitisha Dunson.
Whitney Knight, when she's this far behind the arc, she is tough to stop. High release, nice set rhythm. She's a pro player, future pro player.
Inbounds play. Knight, her 7th block of the game.
You thought you were wide open? Well, no. She came across, helped defense, her leaping ability, her athleticism on display.
To the basket, and the Eagles getting some momentum. Ditisha Dunson.
And it came off of the Whitney Knight block. That defense spurred their offensive confidence.
Since the 3 by Caitlin Duffy on the strange sequence, FGCU found the offense, but that answer there, time for the leader of the Coyotes to step up, Nicole Seekamp.
Nice off screen to free her up in her sweet spot, which is the right elbow. She squares up, and she's almost always automatic when she has the opportunity to get a shot up from there.
43-34, back to a 9-point lead. Knight, no good, short. Rebound comes down into the hands of Margaret McLeod. Under 3 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. In and out again. Several shots today for Nicole Seekamp have hit a couple of sides of the rim and popped back out. Drive and a finish, Ditisha Dunson.
Whether it's getting your best player in Whitney Knight going or Ditisha Dunson putting her head down and attacking the rim, those are good offensive looks for the Eagles.
Team captain Dunson, good finish. Knight this time won't get the block successfully on Margaret McLeod. The foul is the 3rd for Whitney Knight.
Whitney Knight thought she forced her offensive player into a travel. Instead, she brings her hands down and is drawn a foul.
Free throws here, a couple of shots for Margaret McLeod. Just under 50% from the line this season and missed the first one. Taya Miller back on the floor, number 4 back out there for South Dakota.
And if I were Whitney Knight, yes, you're a great shot blocker, but she has 3 fouls now. You have to play textbook defense. Another early foul, she could be on the bench. And her team needs her out there.
Free throw missed, and the rebound down to Atwater brings it up for FGCU. Chance to carve into the -7 on the scoreboard for FGCU.
And if they can score here while the Coyotes are set, that'll be even more momentum.
Couple of 3 misses after the make from Whitney Knight. Had a pretty good look there, still getting some good opportunities. Inside it goes, another block for Knight. Pogo sticking for the loose ball.
Yeah, there's no explanation for that besides that she really wants the ball at all times.
Crowd wanted a carry. FGCU wants a bucket. There's a whistle, a stop, a foul. It will be against South Dakota.
Just her leaping ability, her timing, her will, her wants. That's why she is the all-time leading blocker in Atlantic Sun Conference history.
First free throw, no good. Subs coming on here for both teams. Never miss a moment of college basketball with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every score, every game, every highlight. Right as they happen, download the CBS Sports app now. Second free throw better for Ditisha Dunson. Amy Williams letting her offense know what's happening on this possession, leading by 6.
Carl Smesco was smart. He subbed Whitney Knight out, just making sure she doesn't get that 4th foul entering the 4th quarter.
Set play coming from South Dakota. Screen up high from Fogg. Miller dribbles, 8 seconds to shoot. Seekamp has it. Barely drew iron, and down it comes. Foul on the rebound. That's going to be committed by Kelly Stewart of South Dakota. 5 fouls now for South Dakota.
Beautiful defensive possession for Florida Gulf Coast. This is the 2nd best defense in the nation. They hold teams to under 50 points per game. They will have to hold to that mark to be competitive to come back and etch into this game.
Stephanie Haas was on the rebound, and she's fouled. First foul committed by Kelly Stewart. Free throw up, good. Another one coming for Stephanie Haas. Interesting too with this many seniors out here, how many smiles you've seen on faces today in a very hotly contested basketball game.
This will be the last basketball for quite a few number of the players out here, so they're going to leave everything out there, and they want a sweet memory regardless of wins or loss.
Well, it couldn't be better to have a crowd like this, home or road. This is what you appreciate as a player. Spin, score. There's a player who's made a big impact on this championship, Abigail Fogg.
Whitney Knight goes out, Abigail Fogg goes in, and she comes into work. She's been sensational patrolling the paint for the Coyotes.
Crowd to their feet. Shot clock at 16. Game clock now at 40 seconds in the third quarter. Dunson kicks it back. Way off the mark for Katie Metter and the Coyotes with about a 3-second differential. Shot clock to game clock. Gonna milk it on down.
Nicole Seekamp loves these situations. She can score late in shot clock. She's been clutch for her team. Look for her to take the final shot of this quarter.
Abigail Fogg now with 8 points in this game. She'll set the high screen. Floating, no good. There's Fogg on the glass. That's a backcourt violation, and it will go to FGCU. There's 1 second showing on the third quarter clock, but they'll inbound from midcourt.
You know what I would do? I'd throw Whitney Knight in there and just throw a lob and let her go and just get, oh, wait, hold on, maybe I'm going
Good
it.
call, Coach Agumake. Here comes
throw a lob.
Whitney Knight. She's coming in with Taylor Gradijan. Gradijan took that shot to the face and has been out trying to get her nose and her eyes back in order. Still touching the nose. There's Whitney Knight lining up on the inbound play. 1 second. 7-point game. Getting ready to head to the third quarter break. Over the top. Gradijan didn't get it away. And we end the third quarter. It was a 4-point game at the half. The Coyotes add 3 more to the lead. 45-38. Home team leads going to the final quarter.
Your game. Your memories. Your choice. Get in the game at TripleCrownSports.com.
In its 4th decade, the Summit League continues its ascent through excellence in the classroom and success in the field of play. In cities big and small, at public and private universities, more than 120,000 students across 9 institutions reach for the summit. From academic All-Americans to NCAA champions and nationally ranked teams, Summit League student athletes achieve the pinnacle of success. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders reach the summit today.
It's a party here in the Dakota Dome, the last basketball game in this facility. They'll open a new facility next season. They sold out their final game here, and their home team, the Coyotes, lead the Eagles of FGCU. 5 wins, trying for 1 more to win the WNIT. Thad Anderson, Chiney Agumake. Chiney, that one right there in round 3, Northern Iowa, 51-50. South Dakota had to dodge a bullet. A last-second try for Northern Iowa was off the mark. And now here they sit in this championship.
Yeah, it's been a tough road, but they've earned every victory. Coach Amy Williams said that the WNIT brings excellent recognition to programs like South Dakota and Florida Gulf Coast because they get to compete with the big schools like Minnesota, Hofstra. So they've had their battle-tested road, and they're showing why they're competing for a championship today. They're a balanced team, and they work hard.
Fourth quarter now begins. Florida Gulf Coast work to do, down by 7 entering the final 10 minutes. They have not lost on the road this season, 12-0 in true road games. Drive to the basket, and it's Taylor Gradijan.
She's shown today her versatility. She's known as a three-point shooter, but she put the ball on the floor, and no one's going to stop her.
Out of bounds, going to go to the Eagles. For Florida Gulf Coast, they have made a run through the tournament, never leaving home until this game. Home wins over Bethune-Cookman, Wake Forest, Tulane, Hofstra, Michigan. And what's really cool, 5 of their 6 opponents, everybody except for Bethune-Cookman, first time they've ever played any of those teams in the history of their program.
Well, this is a senior-laden team, 8 seniors on this roster. So it means a lot for them to win and advance in the postseason.
One of the great features with WNIT, a lot of first-time matchups, and FGCU maximized that. 5 out of the 6 games they played in this tournament were first time in a series against the opponent. Pretty cool. There is a career record tying block from Whitney Knight. She has 9 blocks in the game. That matches her best from 2014 against Jacksonville. 9 slots for Whitney Knight. Cut. Gradijan. Taylor. What about the nose? I'm feeling all right. The redshirt sophomore scores again.
And there's the Smesco offense. You want threes or you want slips and cuts to the basket.
Traveling violation. Whitney Knight's defense caused a foot shuffle. Fog walk. Basketball to FGCU. They could get even with a 3.
They could. And Whitney Knight, her ability to just stay composed. She leaps. She blocks shots, uses her timing effectively, and then that gets her offense going.
South Dakota defending, leading by 3. Knight is fouled. Will head to the free throw line.
The versatility of Whitney Knight. She can knock down the 3, she can put the ball on the floor, and she stays present, forces a foul.
Team high 80% from the free throw line, Whitney Knight. But not this time. Whitney Knight finishes the trip, 1 of 2. Now some defense needed for the Eagles. Back within 2 points. Dump it into Fogg. Knight called for the foul, and that's a tough call. That'll be 4 fouls.
She can't give the refs any reason to call a foul. She brought her hand down trying to force a tie, but she just needs to keep her hands up.
Inbound was about to happen, and FGCU got a sub to the bench just in time. That's an important sub right there because they're getting Whitney Knight out of the game with her 4 fouls, replaced by Katie Metter.
And you could sense it. She was disappointed. This is the time that matters most. You can see the players are playing with a sense of urgency.
And 1. Taya He-Miller takes contact, scores.
Tough. She just embodies what Coach Amy Miller's motto is, true grit. Greatness resides in toughness together, and that's Taya He-Miller.
Second foul for Kenesha Atwater. He-Miller good on the 2+1. Checking in for South Dakota is Kate Liveringhouse, replacing Fogg.
And that He-Miller basket could be the effect of Whitney Knight leaving the game. When she leaves the game, the Coyote offense is aggressive, attacking the paint.
Tisha Dunson handles the basketball, gives it to Stephanie Haas. All 5 out around the perimeter for FGCU. Now somebody's into the paint. Haas scoops, no good. Liveringhouse outlets. Caitlin Duffy to the corner to Seacamp. Too strong. Big board. And a whistle, and they got Stewart on the rebound foul. Kelly Stewart foul.
Oh yeah, it was a rebounding sandwich. Unselfish basketball. A long shot means a long rebound, and Stewart just went over the back.
2 fouls now for Kelly Stewart, her second. That's 2 team fouls in the fourth quarter. Each team now has committed 2. 48-43, South Dakota hanging on to this lead.
And where will the Eagles have their offense come from?
Atwater heads down low. Dunson isolated. Gets the shot up and taken down. Shot try by Katie Metter. Ball on the baseline. Coyotes have it. South Dakota slows the pace down now. 7 minutes left in this WNIT championship. Home team Coyotes with over 7,000 fans in the building lead by 5. Whitney Knight back to the check-in table. Next whistle will bring back Whitney Knight and her 4 fouls. Miller got fouled and it was a 3 try. Trying to beat the shot clock. And that fouled Tytisha Dunson, a very intelligent player, not a good play.
Shot clock was running down. You can't afford to put your offensive player on the free throw line. Contested that shot way too close, got her on the arm.
Officials going to check the monitor to see where the feet were, to see if it was a 2 try or a 3 try. So we've got official review on that to see where the feet were on the shot attempt. 4 fouls now for Tytisha Dunson. She has 4, and Whitney Knight has 4. Some foul trouble. Here's a look.
Jumping out of your stance, coming across the body, hit the arm.
That will be 3 free throws, as you can see on the replay, clearly behind the line. Good question by FGCU. I thought the same thing. Wasn't sure if her feet were behind the line, but it will be 3 free throws.
And you have to credit Taya Miller for falling down. You have to give the refs a little exclamation point to call the foul.
Yeah, definitely got some right arm on the release. Miller, an 80% free throw shooter. She'll get 3 shots. If she makes them all, it sends the game back to a +8 for South Dakota. Largest lead of this game for the Coyotes. 12 points earlier. They've been fending off FGCU throughout this fourth quarter. The Eagles, a nice surge on the road, making this pretty intense as we get into the fourth quarter.
The momentum shifted once Whitney Knight went out.
Here comes Whitney Knight, replacing Katie Metter. Knight takes the low left rebound block. Stephanie Haas has the high left. Going to check in Abigail Fogg. They've been countering Whitney Knight's getting Fogg every time she comes in.
It's been a chess match so far. She comes in, Whitney Knight comes in.
One more free throw for Taya Miller. Bounced it in, good. The Watertown, South Dakota, Watertown High School graduate, Taya Miller. Now 15 points in this championship game for Miller.
South Dakota switching on offense, making sure they're always in front of Florida Gulf Coast.
Drive, basket, and 1.
Excellent composure by Kanisha Atwater. The fans were yelling, breathing down her neck. She keeps her head up, attacks the rim, and finishes.
How about Kanisha Atwater's story? A player who has a forearm tattoo on the left side of her to honor her 4-year-old son, and Darius, who's probably home watching this game right now. What a road. If you haven't read the story, check it out online. The story of Kanisha Atwater and her travels through basketball, through Old Dominion originally, then VCU, and on to Florida Gulf Coast, and raising young and Darius with her mom's support. It's touching, and that forearm tattoo reminds her every time what she's playing for out here. It's her last game of her college hoops career, and she's not wanting to let it go. 51-46, the score. FGCU can cut deeper into the lead. Chance for 3, good for 3. It's Kanisha Atwater.
Last game, she had 18 points against Michigan, and it was a hotly contested ball game. So yes, they're used to coming back and storming.
.15 seconds on the Coyote shot clock. Fogg faces up. Knight skies, keeps it alive, and that's last touch by the Eagles. Coyotes basketball. Kanisha Atwater.
She's a speedy guard. guard, but when she has time and space, and it's clutch, it's on the line, she makes most of her shots. She's trying to fire up these Eagles.
Gradishin and Atwater tied for team high with 12 points each. Haas has 11 for the Eagles. The only player in double digits for South Dakota is Miller with 15, a game high. Spinning out and scoring, the 4 fouls for Whitney Knight means she's got to play a different style of defense, and Fogg takes advantage. Back to their feet. The Yotes faithful. They call them the Yotes around here, the Coyotes of South Dakota. This home crowd could be the difference. They're still up by 4, but FGCU has been solid, and that player has been the most solid here in the fourth quarter. How about it? Another and one for Atwater.
Beautiful offense. There was confusion. A lot of players in the paint, then they dispersed. That created an isolation for Kenesha Atwater, and you know what? One-on-one, she's one of the toughest to stop.
First personal foul for Caitlin Duffy. Great finish from Atwater. 4 fouls committed now by the Coyotes, so the next one will be bonus time for FGCU. So they've got some strategic options heading their direction now down the stretch. No good on the free throw. Coach Smesko claps his hands and says, let's just play defense. We're getting what we want. Seacamp finds a seam, missed it again. Tipped around and into the hands of the Coyotes. Another opportunity. It was grabbed by Trimboli and now handled by Seacamp.
Those 50-50 balls are telling in the game. Those give you extra possessions, and that's what you need late.
Corner. 3 is good. Kelly Stewart.
The court vision of Nicole Seacamp. She had 1 option taken away. 2 options taken away. She finds her corner offensive player, and that offensive player doesn't leave her down.
Just saw Senator John Thune, a U.S. Senator, clapping his hands on the Stewart bucket. Got the entire South Dakota list of dignitaries and who's in the building today, enjoying this lead up by 5. The whistle, the foul. It's Jasmine Trimboli. Trimboli picks up her second, and we'll come back with free throws after this lead extender from Kelly Stewart.
Since the beginning, your delegates and regulars have never gotten along. But now, with the new LG Twin Wash, they can live peacefully separate, but washed at the same time.
Save up to $250 on an LG Twin Wash bundle.
Ever since Jim signed up for Lowe's personalized lawn care plan, I've been up on my hind legs trying to get a better view of his grass. It's so beautiful. Oh, cramp, cramp. My tiny unicorn legs can't take it.
Now get a $10 gift card when you spend $50 on select Scott's products.
Anna thinks you need a PhD to do your own taxes, so we brought in a PhD to help explain them.
You're getting this refund because your son is a qualifying dependent.
I can see that.
Good, good, good.
Good, great.
Intuit TurboTax.
More than 2 million men and women have served in our military since 9/11. Now, many of them are transitioning back into civilian life. They're considering career options, writing resumes, starting businesses. ACP AdvisorNet can help. ACP AdvisorNet is a nonprofit online community where Americans can offer career advice to those who have served. Now we can serve those who've served us by helping them to find their next career. Visit acpadvisornet.org.
Catch up-to-the-minute press conferences from every tournament team as they experience the thrilling highs.
It was a real sense of accomplishment, and I think they really felt good about themselves, and that's the greatest thing you can experience as a coach.
A lot of people didn't even have us in the Final Four. It's been a special ride. We don't ever want it to stop.
And agonizing lows.
Hurts a lot. My season is over. We're done.
NCAA March Madness 360, presented by Buick. Tomorrow at 2:30, only on CBS Sports Network.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
And don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
4 minutes, 19 seconds left until the championship trophy is presented. Coyotes lead by 5 on CBS Sports Network. Southwest Host Services, the exclusive hotel partner of the WNIT nationwide team travel since 1991, building trusting relationships through dedicated, personal, thorough, and responsive service. SouthwestHost.com. Free throw line, Kenesha Atwater. Her team down by 5. 15 points now for Kenesha.
This game, surprising that the Eagles have been able to remain in it even though they're down 15 on the boards, and this game can come down to extra possessions.
Great trip to the line by the senior Atwater. You saw a few of the FGCU fans who are here. They're surrounded by Coyotes faithful in the red. But the Eagles have some fans on hand hoping to watch their team get a big road win to go 13-0 on the road this year and take home the WNIT championship. Jumper, good. Nicole Seacamp, it hasn't been there for today, but when you need it, you go to her.
Well, you reward the screener. She sets the screen for her big. Her big returns the favor, and she's wide open again on her sweet spot right by the elbow.
Answers the 2 free throws out of the timeout by Atwater. Seacamp scores. Haas to the basket. Swatted out of bounds. It will stay with FGCU. No foul call in there, just an out of bounds.
Nicole Seacamp screen down, gets the return screen, and she squares up, and she's almost automatic when she squares up and gets a good look at the basket. But this time the defense came to play.
Kelly Stewart got the basketball. A couple of defenders there. Fogg was there too, but it was Stewart with the big hit out of bounds. Sounded like a volleyball swing. Knocked it into the student section. Knight regains the control of the ball, trying to beat the shot clock. Lost the dribble momentarily. Didn't get a good look.
And I've said it probably 5 times, defense wins championships. If you're able to execute on one end and force stops on the other, you are that much closer to winning a championship. South Dakota showing why.
Pushing the ball up the floor, Taya He-Miller. He-Miller leads her team with 15 points. Working on Whitney Knight with 4 fouls. Fogg went to the ground, no whistle. Knight trying to stay eligible here down the final 3:06 and ticking of the 4th quarter. Seacamp in front of the shot clock again, too strong. Fogg in between 2 Eagles, offensive board.
And that comes down to who wants it more.
8th rebound of the game for Fogg. She has 10 points. Had 14 against Oregon in the semis. The junior, Abigail Fogg, huge contributor down the stretch in the WNIT. Knight deflects the pass and a foul on the loose ball. Stephanie Haas fighting for it. Got a grab and a foul on Trimboli. 3 fouls. Let's double check that. Flashing 1 up on the board. Let me verify my info. Looks like Haas got her up for 1 on the big board. He-Miller takes it up near the midcourt logo. 2.5 minutes left in the championship. E-Miller checks the shot clock. Plenty of time.
So smart. She could have attacked the basket, but she's going to eat some of the clock, get a better look for one of her teammates.
If the Coyotes win the championship, there are a number of players who've made a huge difference, and Kelly Stewart, that 3 and all game long, a difference maker.
And that tells you why, gyms. Kids, you should get in the gym and practice your 3. That was years and years of practice on that release. Got her feet set, let the ball go up, and it was nothing but net. 2 feet in rhythm, ball goes up, and it's money. It is raining here in the Dakota Dome, and it's largely due to Kelly Stewart.
Yotes faithful celebrating the latest contribution by Kelly Stewart. 12 points in the game now for Stewart. 1 of 3 Coyotes in double digits. Stewart 3 of 5 from long range. Who's going to be 2016? Last year it was UCLA, Rutgers before that, Drexel, Oklahoma State, Toledo. Will the Summit League or the Atlantic Sun be the next to hang a team name up on the WNIT champions list?
I can tell you in 2 minutes that.
We will stand by for your report, Shanae. Shanae Agumake next to me, Thad Anderson from Vermillion, South Dakota. The Dakota Dome, last basketball game in this facility, driving to the basket and fouled. Seacamp is called for the foul. Back to the line goes Kenesha Atwater. Under 2 minutes left.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. She's been so successful this second half attacking the basket. They can't stop her one-on-one. Either she gets to the basket or she gets fouled.
14th season, head coach Carl Semesco watches one of his leaders, Kenesha Atwater, hit another free throw. Chelsea Durmeyer, the associate head coach, Nikki Collin, assistant coach, and Chelsea Lyles, assistant coach for Carl Semesco. And on the South Dakota side, Amy Williams, 4th season, the head coach. She's got Chuck Love, Tandem Mays, and Tom Gailey on her staff. Congratulations to both staffs. We talk a lot about head coaches, but it's that whole operation that makes a team like both of these teams so successful.
And these are both coaches of the year, and that doesn't stand for one, that stands for all.
Both back-to-back coaches of the year. In fact, Carl Semesco, he's run off 6 straight Coach of the Year honors in the Atlantic Sun, and Amy Williams back-to-back in the Summit League as the Coach of the Year. 1:38 to go. Kick it out. Got it. Taya He-Miller.
And Nicole Seacamp, she knows her teammates. She had a wide open look at the basket, but she kicked it out. Hey, 3s are better than 2s.
Kenesha Atwater from deep, no good. Fogg, another rebound. A whistle, a foul. Kenesha Atwater claps her hands in frustration. She picks up the foul, and this crowd thinks they might have some hardware staying right here in Vermillion.
Nicole Seacamp beats her defenders, but finds her partner in crime, her Robin to her Batman, and she drains the big clutch 3 for the Coyotes.
Hey, let's zoom in on Nicole Seacamp. She's 3 of 15 from the floor in this game. She's their leading scorer at over 16 points per game. But what we haven't talked about yet, she leads this team while scoring 16 points a game at 6.5 assists per game. Today, 8 assists for Nicole Seacamp. You cannot measure any player in any big game just by their shooting numbers or their point numbers.
She's a complete player. She's a next level type of player. She's smart. She gets what it takes to elevate her team. That's the best quality of all.
11-point advantage for South Dakota. Quickly to the rim, Kenesha Atwater, a timeout after the bucket by Atwater. FGCU gets a quick one. They're back within 9. No timeouts left now for FGCU. South Dakota still with 3. And the Eagles are out of timeouts at 1:07 to go, down by 9.
That could play a factor. If they were able to come back, sometimes taking a timeout to advance the ball also works. That's the new rule change.
Well, Shanae, you had 3 Final Fours in your great experience at Stanford, and you've been in the postseason. You've experienced, you're still working good stuff for us in the WNBA, but you had a last college basketball
I
game.
did.
What do you believe is in the minds of these players right now?
Well, you know that they're giving their all, and so that no matter how this game ends, they're going to be happy with their effort. Now, if it ends here with the South Dakota win, this place, the roof will come off. I think they've put in their time. They're beloved to their programs. Coaches love coaching both of these teams. So, yeah, they're going to have a sweet memory regardless of their last game.
Second chance points in this game. Second chance points. South Dakota 16, Florida Gulf Coast 0. That's second chance points. 16-0 Coyotes.
Games come down to extra possessions. That's second chance point. That's getting those hustle balls. That's fighting with your team. And South Dakota has won that battle.
Rebounding 47-30 in favor of South Dakota, plus 17 on the glass. Seacamp gets the basketball, triple teamed, and they call a tie-up. Possession arrow. Well, now we got a change. Call from the other side came, and it's going to be a foul call from the opposite official. I appreciate that work. The high official out of midcourt. There was some arm contact on the battle. You could call it if you want. So the overrule from the high side off the baseline look, which was a possession arrow call.
Yeah, it wasn't a tie-up because she maintained possession of the ball. More likely to be a turnover than a tie-up.
Yeah, the FGCU bench was right in front of that, and they wanted a travel call on it. They didn't get that. They got a foul call instead. Seacamp goes to the free throw line. Knight checking back in along with the Eagles' Kaylee Lauder. Lauder, a redshirt sophomore, wearing number 20. Whitney Knight back in. They replace Jamie Gleasing and Tisha Dunson. Second free throw, good for Nicole Seacamp. 7 points in the game for Seacamp. Kanisha Atwater drives and finishes. 57 seconds to go. 8-point game. Coyotes get it across the timeline and a foul. That will be called against Atwater. Her fourth foul. 4 fouls for Kanisha.
And if you wonder why no one fouled early, that's because Whitney Knight was defending the ball. She knew she couldn't foul. She needs to be out there.
Now 4 fouls for Atwater. She's going to have that in her mind, and as will her teammates. Coach Smesko talks to her about this final 52.9. Free throw drops down for Taya He-Miller. 21 points for He-Miller. Her career high, 22 against Dakota Wesleyan. One more right here, and she would match her career best in a championship game as a senior. Did it.
Composure, that's what you want at your point guard position. She gets everyone the ball, but then she keeps her composure, knocks down big free throws.
Atwater knows they need a shot, sends up the 3, gets the bounce. No timeouts for FGCU. 40 seconds to go. Outlet pass, and Caitlin Duffy is going to shoot the next set of free throws. FGCU in scramble mode, the foul, Haley Lauder.
Going to the line for the Coyotes, shooting 2. Caitlin Duffy.
That coach right there, Carl Smesko, he knows a lot of ways to win games. Does he know a way to win with 37.4 left, down by 7 with over 7,000 fans rooting against you? Not if the Coyotes hit their free throws.
Exactly, that's the X factor right there.
Caitlin Duffy, the Summit League Transfer of the Year. Hits a couple of big ones, the lefty. Good trip to the line for Duffy. Atwater. Lauder lost it. Seacamp kept it alive. Haas picked up the ball that bounced off the backboard. She's fouled. She'll shoot a couple of free throws. That play was a wild sequence, and Haas benefits.
This is a lucky scramble. You lose the ball. Other team gets it. Ball hits the backboard. Lands in the right hands, and now you're at the free throw line. Buy a lotto ticket today, guys.
Things I didn't predict in my immediate future if you're Stephanie Haas. Both of these programs playing in this championship game have made multiple trips to the WNIT. FGCU, this is their 6th appearance in this tournament. South Dakota, 3rd appearance. Neither team had ever gotten beyond the 2nd round of the tournament. Congratulations on both sides. This is, for each of them, their 6th game of the women's NIT. One of them is going to be the finalist, and one of them is going to be the champion. Second free throw, no good. Missed a pair and a battle. This time the possession arrow is appropriate. And it will be Coyotes basketball. 21.8 seconds remaining. Strategic subbing going on here. They got Whitney Knight into the game. That's the only sub they're going to make. FGCU. Stewart inbounds, gets it to He-Miller. Got to foul her quick. Don't have time for a 10-second backcourt call here. Out of bounds it went. Pretty good pressure D by FGCU. They're down by 9. Playing pressure D, but we didn't see the foul there. They're going to look at the monitor. Coach Smesko, pretty smart move here. He said, can we just make sure that ball went off of the white, or off of the blue uniforms, not the white.
Tricky.
A quick look and a quick decision, giving it to the Coyotes with no timeouts. Smart move too by Coach Smesko. Yep. At least you get a chance to talk to your team during the review.
We'll look to see if they try to go for the steal or foul quick, or both. They're trying to go for the steal.
And that will be Whitney Knight's foul. And And I would imagine this crowd that understands the game of basketball would give her a significant round of applause as she fouls out. That's a tremendous basketball player who just ended her career. And here comes the whole bench now for FGCU. Coach Semesco going to give his seniors a curtain call in front of 7,000 fans on the road. The chance for the Coyotes to show what they've shown all weekend here. Hospitality, respect for the game. They have a chance to send off those Eagles seniors. And now Coach Williams is going to do the same. Curtain calls all around.
Mass exodus, and what amazing senior classes on both ends. Whitney Knight has nothing but to be proud of her game and how far she's come. Two-time ASUN Player of the Year. Guess what, Whitney? You got plenty of games ahead of you on the pro level. Coming from one who would know, Chinea Gwumake. That's just a little bit.
Accurate but kind words from you. I know you're not embellishing anything when you say that about
Absolutely
Whitney Knight.
No, I would love to have her on my team.
Taya Hemeller, who, you know, if there's a little subplot here, she makes a free throw. She's got a new career high. She's currently tied for a career high at 22. Why not send it out in style, Taya?
Put a little icing on the cake.
Will this be her 23rd point, the most of her career? Nope. And that's all right. 22 in a couple of different games is pretty impressive, especially with one in a championship game. Long ball for FGCU is good. Knocked down for the Eagles by Jessica Katani. 1 second to go. No seconds to go. Game clock expires. Coyotes claim the top prize at the 2016 Women's NIT. Coyotes storming the court at the Dakota Dome. Florida Gulf Coast University, runners-up at the WNIT, 33-6 record. They set a record for D1 wins this season, their second straight 30-plus win season for FGCU. Congratulations to Carl Semesco and his Eagles on another stellar basketball season. It's the Coyotes of South Dakota. They move now to 32-6 on the season, champions of the WNIT. Trophy presentation and a chance to chat with champion head coach Amy Williams after we take a break on CBS Sports Network. South Dakota Coyotes, the champions of the Women's NIT.
Lowe's one-year guarantee on plants means anyone can have a beautiful garden. Finally, something in this yard as beautiful as me. Enjoy.
Now get mulch and soil 5 for $10 at Lowe's.
Water has played an important role in Stella Artois' 600-year brewing heritage. That's why we've partnered with Water.org to help women who spend millions of hours just collecting it. We can help change that and play a part in transforming their lives. Each limited edition Stella Artois chalice helps provide 5 years of clean water for someone in the developing world.
Oh, babe, you need razors?
Oh, I can still use my old blade.
He, who?
Don't labor with an old razor because new ones are so expensive. Shave with a fresh blade, anytime. Try DollarShaveClub.com.
4x4 by land, 4x4 by sea, 4x4 by air, cause the lot to fly free. The former country, how it all started out. For the brave and every Boy Scout. For doing it yourself cause you want it done right. 4x4 top down stars keep you up at night. 4x4 every one of those 75 years. 4x4 the wave, that's how we say cheers. That's how we live. 4x4ever.
Go paperless, don't stress, girl. I got the discounts that you need. Safe driver, accident-free. Everybody put your flaps in the air for me. Go paperless, don't stress, girl. I got the discounts that you need. Safe driver, accident-free. Everybody put your flaps in the air for me.
I can't lip sync in these conditions.
Save
It's all over, but the shouting, the partying, the trophy placement in the case in Vermilion. Championship game in the books. South Dakota Coyotes 71, FGCU Eagles 65. Fourth season at the helm for Amy Williams, head coach of the Coyotes. Congratulations, Coach. What a game.
Thank you so much. Coach, your motto this year has been grit. And what is it? Greatness resides in toughness together. This team has true grit. What do you want to talk about this team's gritty win today to earn a championship?
I couldn't think of a more fitting word. That's been our motto all year. I just think, that's what defines our team, is just a toughness, kind of a grit about us. And we certainly played that way, I thought, here today. And just a hard-fought ball game, but a great win for our team.
Coach, this game early on back and forth. FGCU got a little lead. You got up at half. You were up in the third quarter. They made a great run in the fourth quarter. Kenesha Atwater ends up with a game-high 25 points. What are you going to remember tomorrow or a year from now or 5 years from now about this game?
Well, I'm just going to remember what a great team win that was. And Abigail Fogg really had to kind of step in and step up. And I thought Taya Miller played one of her best ball games. And I just think, just a great team win. I thought, Atwater really tried to take over. And when that happened, just what a great performance by her. But I thought our team kind of stayed committed to just team effort. And we were able to lean on a lot of different people.
Taya Miller tied a career high with 22 points in this game. It was just phenomenal.
Pretty special performance for a senior to go out that way.
You just closed the building down as well here at the Dakota Dome. The last game will be a championship, and we're going to let you get out to your trophy and your team. Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Amy Williams, fourth season with South Dakota. She hangs up a banner here at the Dakota Dome, and the last basketball game played. They'll open a new facility next season. 71-65, Coyotes over the Eagles. Janae, thank you for being here today.
Oh, it's been a blessing. It was a true team effort for South Dakota. They earned it here.
For Janae Agumake and our entire crew, I'm Thad Anderson. The Women's NIT, produced by Triple Crown Sports in association with CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Congratulations to the Eagles of FGCU making the championship of the Women's NIT. It's the home team, the champions, the Coyotes win it at the WNIT.
We used to have it all, but now's our curtain call. So hold for the applause. Oh, 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 oh. And wave out to